Well, good evening, everybody. Today is Wednesday, November the 20th. Time right now is about 9:20 in the evening here. And this is Weather After Dark, or what I call Weather After Dark. It's just basically a time for us just to talk. And, we can talk about weather or just talk about whatever's going on in your life and what's going on in mine and that kind of stuff. Just a good opportunity for us to all get to know each other a little bit better on a more personal level, still to a certain extent. Yeah, I'm early tonight, Corey. I'm just don't have a whole lot to do, going on. So I decided to jump on here a little earlier tonight. What's up, Carrie? I'm actually kind of somewhat watching these CMA awards, and it's just, it's blah. In general, I just don't think it's all that good. I don't know. I'm not a huge country music fan. I'll watch some. I like some of it. I actually like the Texas country better than mainstream, to be honest about it, the red dirt. But I don't know. A lot of this stuff just isn't very good. It just not. So, but anyway, I'm just sitting here chilling, chilling like a villain. And it is cold outside, Andrew. You're right. It's chilly. Yeah, they still did. It's on right now, actually. Let's see what award they're presenting now. Chris Stapleton's won everything he's been a part of. So, and don't get me wrong, I think Chris Stapleton's a great singer, but there's others that are probably just as rewarding, if not more so. But he's a great singer though, so I'm not taking anything away from him. So, yeah, that dude has won. He just won something else again too. He's won everything he's been up for. One thing I find that's weird is these guys that win. You look at the country charts or the music charts, and like artists like Morgan Wallen will be at the top of the charts for weeks on end. Shabuzi, top of the charts for weeks on end, and they don't win anything on these things. And you got somebody that really didn't have a chart topper this year, and they win everything. So I think it's just all a matter of opinion. I think that's what it basically is. So. It's right. My wife was talking about that earlier, how it just isn't country anymore. But that's what Nashville wanted. Nashville wanted the country music wanted it to be more pop. They said that by doing that, they could reach a larger audience than if they confined it to just traditional country sounds. That's why country changed the way it did. Let's see. What's going on today with me? Well, I just did some painting over at the house, and that's basically it. Came to work tonight, and we had the debate on the News Channel 66 o'clock tonight. So that's what was going on then. So I didn't have a 6 o'clock newscast. I went over to the house, did a little painting. I do want to talk about something quickly, and I really probably need to start Briar. What is Briar? Pam Miracle. Cameron has been a little stressed out, last couple of days, and he's just had a lot of work. Been working a lot of long hours lately, so he's at home resting. But anyway, so I saw today where, and if you're familiar with the YouTuber Ryan Hall, and he does his platform is good. He reaches a lot of people, and he's pretty good. But he came out with this thing now that's going to be AI, and the AI is going to do like weather forecast and stuff all the time. And I looked at it, and it's pretty neat. It's not bad at all. It's actually pretty cool. But the concern is, if we start developing AI, and whenever AI just started coming on the scene a couple years ago, one of the concerns from me was, all right, so how much longer before AI puts people like myself and puts all these people out of jobs? Because let's just face it, AI can do things faster, it's cheaper, and it's usually without error. Well, it can be, but most of the time, the way it's designed is to be without error. So, it makes me concerned that, on down the road, and it's not going to happen today or tomorrow, but at some point on down the road, AI is going to replace a lot of things. Now, AI in some instances is really cool. Okay, I mean, like for instance, I heard that there is a that I don't know if it's already developed or if it will be developed, but you'll be able to put these glasses on, these goggles or glasses, and let's say there's something wrong with your vehicle, and AI is supposed to be able to look at it and tell you how to fix it, and it'll correct you and give you every instruction on how to do everything. No, that's pretty cool. AI could be really cool in detecting cancers, early cancers, and things like that. Helping out in, the medical field, it can be cool, and helping doctors. I don't think it would ever replace a doctor, but it would help. It could help doctors. Those are things that AI could be really beneficial for. Um, and it's probably coming to the day where the AI is going to be able to do a pretty good job at also predicting weather. I don't know that it will ever be any better than what the models are. Um, but it may one day be able to do such a good job, and they can already mimic the voice of, let's say, me, for instance. And all they're going to have to do is just develop some type of on air. These days they can make AI look just like a human. So, one day that could be how you get your news and how you get your weather is from AI. So, see, it just ultimately could take away a lot of jobs, and I mean, you could wind up seeing a lot of the workforce replaced by robots. If you go to like, let's say, for instance, a fast food joint, and you'd have to walk up to the counter. I mean, this is one thing that I do like. This is not AI, but you can see where I'm going with this. So you walk up, and instead of going to the counter and ordering from a cashier, you go to the little kiosk over there and you press in what you want, and then the order takes place and it comes out. But people are still back there fixing it. But the thought is, and the trend will be for one day for you to be able to place your order at the kiosk, and AI robots put it all together for you back there, and it sends it out. So that is probably coming. As a matter of fact, I've actually seen they got these little, these little Pizza Huts now. They're like what could I compare it to? Like when they got the little kiosk where you can go get the ice. Well, and also you can rent DVDs if you still rent DVDs. I don't know if anybody still does that, but anyway, they've got it to where they've got this pizza joint where you can go and you can order your pizza at a little kiosk, outdoor kiosk, and it'll the robots will put it together for you and then shoot it out. That's just that's the trend and the direction that AI is going to take us. Like I say, AI has got some great benefits that I'm very excited about. But it can be also scary because it could eliminate jobs easily. Um, you know, there's been not at my station here, and certainly not anywhere in this market, but there's been some layoffs that have taken place in the TV business. Quite a few layoffs. Some some weather departments are even cutting back. Some news departments and some news ownership is condensing their news product now. So what they're doing is, and this is not the company that owns me, but there are some companies out there that do it, where they're taking they're shutting down the local news stations, the local shops, and they're making a regionalized headquarters. And for this example, let's just say Oklahoma City. They would have the main hub would be in Oklahoma City, and they would have satellite like in Wichita Falls, where they had a couple reporters that did news here. You might have somebody doing weather here, or you might have weather being done from up there and just cover this area. So that's also something that is starting to take place. People are beginning to, some people are losing their jobs in this because of condensation or the condensing of things. Like I said, it's not happening here, and I don't see it happening anytime soon. But there are some markets that are doing that. And the way that the TV business is evolving, I don't think TV news and TV is going to go away. I think it's just going to continue to evolve. But a lot of people are now getting their weather information and their news information, unfortunately, from social media. And the problem I have with that is this: number one, if these are not credible sources, then there's going to be a lot, and there is a lot of misinformation that's given out there. I'm talking about from a news standpoint. If you rely there when you go to school to be a reporter, and I'm not a reporter, but I did have to take some reporting classes. They teach you the ethics of reporting, and the things they teach you is number one, you have to be non-biased. You have to be right down the middle. You have to show both sides of the story if at all possible. You have to credit your sources, and you have to have credible sources. You can't just take Joe Blow's word for it down the street. You got to have a credible source before it's actually happening. But what's happening is these guys on social media, especially TikTok and YouTube, don't have a credible source. They read it from a tabloid or get it from somewhere else, and then they report it as factual news, and it spreads like wildfire. There's somebody on TikTok that I watch all the time, or I've seen. I don't watch them all, but I'm passing through. And this dude is always talking about, well, World War III is here. World War III is going to happen tomorrow. And this dude, I mean, he's got all these followers that bite it, that believe it too. And this dude's my sources tell me, they're never right. So that's why it's important to have credible sources. If you do get your information from social media, have credible sources that maybe if it's not a news organization like Channel 6 here, KFDX, then maybe it would be somebody that is a former reporter for a TV station. That's always good to find. Or a real meteorologist, a former meteorologist that knows how to, report weather, knows how to get in there and accurately tell you what's going to happen and not hoopla. They're the hoopla out there. So anyway, I've kind of rambled on enough here. So, but it's just concerning. I mean, like I say, I think all that is cool, but at the same time, it is really scary. So let's see here. Our local weather person. I can't see anything here. Let me see if I can turn my overlays off here so I can. Okay, here we go. So let's see here. Jason Sprague. I saw quite a few people hype up for Storm a few days ago. I told them to trust the ones who actually know. And see, that's the problem, Jason. The people are trusting just anybody they see on YouTube because there's these big, scary and bright looking thumbnails that the algorithms like. So it pushes them out. And it's not accurate information. They're going up on, basically what they're doing is they're going on what the Storm Prediction Center says, which the Storm Prediction Center never even hyped up that event. Reed Timmer hyped it up, but Reed Timmer hypes every one of them up. He's a businessman, and he's trying to get those interactions and likes and whatnot. He makes a lot of money. He may not believe it, but he'll hype it up because he knows he has to. But a lot of these other ones will take his word or whoever's word and run with it, and then it spreads like wildfires. And everybody was nervous as they could be, and that thing moved through the other night and barely even produced any wind. Just a little bit of wind damage, but no tornadoes really. I think there was a little spin up in southwest Oklahoma, but that was it. So yeah. Let's see. Katie says, imagine having a robot making your pizza and it's still raw. No, that's possible. I mean, it's no telling what's going to happen. Thank you, Andrea 45 in Duncan, Oklahoma. Katie Curtis, any rain in Burnett, Texas tonight? No, Katie, no rain tonight. Matter of fact, I don't have any rain in the forecast again for a while. Maybe middle of next week towards Thanksgiving a little bit, but I don't see anything major. So Eric Pridemore, our local Colbert, Oklahoma weather watcher, is now 48 and chilly in Colbert to the north of the Red River in Oklahoma side, as it will be a cold overnight. And what happened to the folks at KFDX3 on Seymour Highway, which is Falls, last I heard, last night's weather after dark stream? Well, I don't know. I'm not one that, you hear some rumblings and whatnot, but I just know that they've just been through a lot down the street there. They just had their weather team and just the news department's just going through some things right now. And, I'm not at liberty to say, a whole lot, and I don't even know a whole lot. So, about what's going on. I just know that they just need our prayers. I know that their weekend guy, Dan Dickens, unfortunately, he was in an accident and was hurt pretty bad. And, he needs our prayers for sure. And, there's just been some things, well, like I said, we have friendly competition, but I would never wish any harm on anybody else. And I certainly do. My heart goes out to those guys down there, and I do pray for them, and I do wish good thoughts for whatever's going on. So hopefully they'll get things back straight here pretty soon over there. So let's see. So Rule Rodriguez. Sounds frightening, but the future is here, like it or not. You're right about that. You either embrace it or you don't. So you just have to, it's probably time that I do embrace it. I've actually tried to dabble in some of this YouTube stuff, but it's hard to be able to build a following because to be able to do that, you really have to be on and all over every single weather event in the country. It's like those guys, Max Velocity, I think his name is, and then Ryan Hall and whoever else is doing this. It doesn't matter where it's at. They all hours of the night, they've got to be on. It's just them, maybe one other person. They got to be on those events to build their audience. Yeah, you're talking about stress. There's just no way I'd want to do that. I love covering my area, maybe the area in this region here, but I'm one person. I can't do every severe weather event in the whole world. I just can't do it. So I've dabbled in doing some of it and thought about doing some of it, but I would have to pull it back and tone it down considerably from what they do. The one thing that they do have that I do love is their storm chasers. They've got a lot of storm chasers they show, and I think that people want to see the video. I want to see the video, and I think people want to see that live video of the storm out in the field. If it's raining or if it's thundering, what people want to see that. So I do like that aspect of it, and I'm trying to bring more of that to the TV station here, more of that on our streams, more of that on, the TV as well. I'm trying to bring more of that. There's just not an easy platform to go from the computer to the TV. So, yes, definitely prayers for Dan there, Jason, for sure. Been praying for them a whole lot. I'm sorry, I went the wrong way here. So Ben wants to know, what is your opinion on how the SBC has been doing? The watch and the fourth are pointless. I don't want to slam the Storm Prediction Center or the National Weather Service in Norman. I'm not going to do that because those guys, their forecasts are usually pretty good. Especially Norman Weather Service is usually top notch. I cannot say anything bad about them. I mean, there's a little bit of a hiccup with that severe weather event a few weeks ago in the middle of the night, but Norman is usually all over it. They owned up to it, by the way, and I can see where they're coming from and where their conflict was on that night. But yeah, I do think that the Storm Prediction Center has had some. Well, for the most part, they're pretty good. They've had some questionable watches and some questionable outlooks as of late. That's why I don't use them. I mean, I use them as a reference only. And I'm one of the few people probably in TV weather or definitely on anybody's streaming that actually does my own convective forecast. I don't issue watches myself, or issue warnings myself, but I do my own severe weather outlooks because sometimes I'll agree with them, sometimes I won't. I don't necessarily like their categories either. I think it's real confusing. For instance, I mean, they'll say slight risk for severe weather, and I've seen slight risk, and there'll be just tons of severe weather. That just doesn't make sense to me. I'd rather see it in categories with numbers than I had to see it with, words like that. So, but yeah, they probably do need to, some of those watches they've been issuing. But I mean, I get it. They've got to err on the side of caution. So, thanks, Armando. I do appreciate it. Andrea, I don't see any snow in our forecast anytime soon. Ty wants to know, hey, Ken, the last event before the most recent one wasn't so different based on what the SBC was saying. It turned into an outbreak. I don't really understand what you're saying there, Ty. Maybe explain it to me a little bit better. Yes. And what's up there, Becca? There ain't nothing wrong with having friendly competition. Are y'all really friends if y'all don't have friendly competition? Well, I mean, I'm not going to say that those guys are my friends. I've met them. But I certainly don't have anything against them at all. I mean, they're in the business just like I am, I mean, I would be friends with them. I wouldn't have a problem with that, but sometimes you just gotta, if I'm out and about and I see them, I certainly will speak for sure. Matter of fact, I had lunch we used to have lunch with Kevin Selly. I thought Kevin was a great guy and a very good forecaster and a good weather guy too. Great broadcaster. I'm trying to stay with what I'm doing, Armando. Hopefully I can continue to do this for a while longer at least. So yeah, I think that Brian James is back on Channel 3. I think he's in Dallas, and I think they're just he's doing some freelance work for them while they're kind of down a bit. So Becca says she loves storms in any form. I like them too, but I'll admit that I like them when they're not super severe in the middle of the night. Because if it's super severe in the middle of the night, it means I have to be here. But Cameron and Jaden did such a good job, have done such a good job as of late that it's taken a lot of the pressure off of me. So every time it claps and thunders in the middle of the night, I know it's taken care of. And it's been hard in my career to have that luxury and to have that that bit of easiness, I guess, or I don't even know the word I'm looking for, but it's a great state of mind to have. So yeah, Kevin is a good guy. I like him. He does a really good job. And Cameron is great in the field. You're right. The SBC outlook a few weeks back when Oklahoma had tons of tornado wasn't too different from a few days ago. Okay, I see what you're saying. All right, so yeah, it was a little bit different in that. You're right. It was a lot of similarities. Very, very similar. Very, very similar. The difference was storm mode. And there was more instability with the one a couple of weeks ago. There was more instability there. There wasn't much instability at all with this system. The lapse rates were real weak, and storm mode was super cellular with that one a few weeks ago. And there was a warm front, and those storms were riding that warm front and allowed them to spin more. And then with the system that happened a couple of nights ago, it was completely linear. There wasn't enough fuel or enough lift in thunderstorm energy out ahead of it to really get those storms organized enough to be able to do it. The instability was with the front itself, and that's why it was all linear. The one a few weeks ago had a little bit more of that out ahead of it, especially along that warm front, and that's what happened with that. But you're right, the overall setup wasn't too much different. So I like storms at night because they usually help me sleep. But the house I live in now is so sound. It's like soundproof. It's so well insulated and built so well. It's an older house. And, I don't even hear it thundering outside hardly. So time right now is 9:41. Of course, tomorrow we're this time next week, folks. We're on Thanksgiving Eve, and man, I'm excited for Thanksgiving. My mom and my dad are coming. They'll be here on Sunday. I got a wedding to go to in Dallas next Saturday. Next Monday. So it's a wedding on a Monday. So we'll go down to Dallas on Monday for that wedding. I'll be back up here, Monday night or Tuesday. And then I'll hang out with the folks the rest of the week. We'll do Thanksgiving on Thursday. I don't do Black Friday shopping like at the store anymore. I still like to go out and about, but my Black Friday shopping is now done online or, something like that. I do like to, try to shop local if I can. So even online, I'll try to order locally. That's where I look first, but sometimes you can't find what you're looking for locally. So you have to go a little further on, but local is where I want to keep my money if I can. One thing that I do miss is, I miss them all. I know we still have the mall here, but it's just not like it was back whenever I was a kid in the 80s and 90s. I mean, that was the mall at Christmas time was the place to be. Now it's just kind of like, yeah, I guess because most people are ordering online now. So Katie, yes, I talked about it last night, how I just absolutely love the Thanksgiving because all you do is eat, you cook, eat, sleep, watch football, eat some more, sleep some more, watch football. That's what I like about it. There's no hustle and bustle. To me, listen, I like the Christmas season, but I'm not a fan of Christmas. The why I don't like Christmas is you got this really nice build up, this long holiday season. Everybody's cheerful in the mood, and it's all over with after one morning. Boom, just like that, over with. When I was a kid, Santa Claus would always have to come early because on Christmas morning we had to get up and go to my grandparents' house. You go down there and you'd eat, and then you would, open. Usually they gave me money, so you get money and then you go to sleep. It was nothing special. I mean, being around my grandparents is special, but I'm talking about the day itself was just nothing, nothing special. I never really got super into the day of Christmas itself. I love the season. I just don't like the fact that it's over with so fast. So, I mean, you got, like I say, all this build up, all the decorations, you got all this, the eats and the food and all the bright lights and all the everybody's in a good festive mood and whatnot. And then boom, it's over with one day. Done. So that's what I don't. That's why I don't like. Yeah, as a kid, I used to be depressed always because Christmas would be over with so fast and just so sad. And then once Christmas is over with, if you think about it, I mean, really, once you get through the New Year holiday, it's just kind of blah. I mean, you're in January where it's usually dark and cold, rains a lot, or it can rain. It's really, in my opinion, you're really kind of into the time of the year, January until about the middle of February. It can get really cold during that time too. Once you get through mid-February, you start getting into the spring, so it gets nice. So right now is my favorite time of the year, though. Right now, this is it for me. So Thanksgiving is the best part of being pregnant. I take it that you're able to be pregnant and eat what you want, but you're not throwing it back up. Because a lot of pregnant people can't eat what they want. They just throw it back up. So I guess Lainey Wilson just won something. I'm just not a big fan of hers. I mean, she seems like a nice girl, but I mean, I don't know. I'm just not that big of a fan of hers. I may be the exception there. I personally think that Christmas is overhyped. 4 and 5-year-old love Christmas, but to me, and see, that's it too. I don't have little kids anymore. And when they were little, it was fun, but now that they're not little anymore, it's just like, yeah. I mean, but even when they were little, they would always wake up super early, wanting to open up gifts early. And then I'd be like, I'd been up most of the night putting together stuff, putting together Christmas. I may have had an hour of sleep and they're ready to get up and open presents and they want to be up the rest of the day. So you don't get a whole lot of sleep. So, but my favorite part of the holidays is eating. So there you go. But I will be off all next week. I am off all next week. I don't know. I may do some Facebook lives. I don't know, but I won't be at the TV station anyway. But Cameron will be in for me and Jaden will be in the morning. So, all right. Well, it's 9:46. I've rambled on a lot tonight about lots of different things. So I'm going to go and get ready for the newscast here. I hope y'all I hope you enjoyed this rambling on by Ken Johnson. And I hope y'all had a great night. I hope your day was good. I hope your tomorrow is even better. Your Thursday is even better. And then, of course, we get to Friday and the weekend. It's almost here. So, hey, it's going to be chilly outside, 30s in the morning. Dress for it. Yeah, it is expensive. Hey, Ken, have you ever heard of a guy who calls himself Convective Chronicles? Never heard of that guy. So